This is a sprint that Khaled Harrah has to make all too often. He's a member of a civil defense team in Aleppo, the first responders when the Assad regime drops bombs on what's left of his city. In June, it was Khaled who was sure he heard the cries of a baby from beneath the rubble of a bombed-out house, even though colleagues thought he was mistaken. But he refused to give up, clawing at the rubble with his hands. A tiny baby boy, just 10 days old. What happened was a miracle, he says. The baby boy was under 3 meters of debris. After the rescue, we felt indescribable joy. This was Khaled setting off on a different journey, leaving bombed-out Aleppo.
This must be quite something.
And traveling to New York, where the skyline has now been repaired. In the new 9/11 museum, he saw this half-destroyed fire truck and said it could be made roadworthy and used in Syria. But this trip wasn't about sightseeing. The aim was to remind the international community that the Assad regime is still killing Syrians, not just Islamic State. We hope that the American government and people will remember the Syrian people who've suffered from the bombing and destruction, he says, and that they'll help us. Khaled and his colleagues also wanted to make a protest at the Syrian mission to the United Nations to complain about the onslaught of barrel bombs from the Assad regime.
We have the right to visit the office of our country. It's the Syrian mission here, and we are Syrian citizens.
But despite showing their Syrian passports, they were quickly turned away. The victims of 9/11 will never be forgotten, but with America's focus now on a new terror threat, Islamic State, Khaled fears that the suffering of his Syrian compatriots could easily be neglected. Nick Bryant, BBC News, New York.